This is the PIC 690, and here's the motor controller. Right here is where you plug in the PIC 2. We have connections coming from there, going to the PIC, shown in yellow. And coming from the PIC 2, we have our 5-volt and ground, and that go to power the power and ground of both sides of the board. The motor controller is wired so that whatever side it's wired to, it controls that tire. So you can't see it, but these cords connected to this side of the motor controller go down and underneath and connect to this wheel. Same thing for this side. The purple wires here are the connections between the PIC and the motor controller. And here, shown in blue here, we have one here and one here. These are capacitors between the power and the ground of the breadboard. And these are just to reduce the high frequency noise that may or not be present during the operation. Over here we have our wires for the sensors. The sensors, they come in and they just kind of loop around and loop underneath to go right here. And then the sensors are wired to the PIC. Each sensor has a diode and a transistor. You can see the diode has an orange and green wire. The transistor has a white and blue wire. So what's going on here is we have 3 different sensors. And they're in order here. So the left one is the left sensor, the center is the center sensor, and the right's the right sensor. On the actual sensor, we have resistors on top of the diode and on top of the transistor, both connected to 5 volts. And what happens here is the diode emits light. If the transistor picks up this light, you're given a connection to ground here. So what would be going to the PIC would be nothing. Now, when it doesn't pick up the light reflecting, then 5 volts essentially will be connected to the PIC. So that's what's happening here. Each sensor has a black wire, which you can see runs over here. And same thing in order here. The sensors are connected left, center, and right. Okay, so a little explanation on the motor controller. For power, we have power going to this pin here, and we have power again going to this pin here. And then we have the enable lines. So the enable lines, you'd have power to a resistor, and then going to this last pin here, and this first pin over here. And that allows you to use both sides of the motor controller. Coming from the PIC going to the motor controller, we have 4 lines, basically for 4 directions. So you have the right side front, the right side back, and then on the other side you have the left side front and then the left side back. And these are the actual connections to the motors themselves. And then the middle here, we just have both sides are connected together and then to ground.